Hola chicos, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a un capítulo más de Final Fantasy XVI. Hoy le toca a Joshua, que estaban ahí en plan broskis mirando para el horizonte y dices tú, venga, let's fucking go. Vamos a hacer ya de cabeza, en machete, pa pa pa. Secundarias, let's go.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... Would you join me?
Claro, sí, esto nos incumbe a los dos, tronco, o sea, por favor.
I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
No voy a callarme nunca, no voy a parar nunca de hacer esa mierda. A ver, ¿esto quién es? Yo también voy a pillar a estos tres, ¿vale? ¡Ah! Doris, me acuerdo de ti, tía.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
Sí, joder,
We'll be
también.
meeting the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family.
Está muerto.
The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Vale. Y ahora tú, ¿vale?
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
Venga.
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Whoa. Vale.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Vale, entonces yo creo... Aquí ya nada más. Bueno, quedan esas dos que ya las haremos. Pero vamos de 3 en 3, yo creo, ¿eh? Está bien. Me interesa mucho la de Joshua. Pero... Bueno, la promesa de un padre habla con Cyril. Ah, está en Tabor, Cyril. Vale, vale, vale. Esta es la última entonces. Vale, vale, vale. Entonces podemos ir a la prisión primero. Que esta yo creo que va a ser... Matar al novio muerto. Seguro que es novio o algo así. Al transformado. Yo creo que están todos transformados. No sé por qué, pero bueno. Tenemos que subir... Uf, tenemos que subir ahí arriba. Madre mía.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark.
Ah, coño, se viene el otro
The
también.
longer she's open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic.
Claro,
To hurry.
porque vamos de viaje con él también. Bueno, pues mira, tenemos un ayudante. ¡Oh, no! ¡Un orco, no! ¡Oh! A mimir. ¿Queda más? ¿Quién queda? Los de abajo, ¿no? Pero yo no quiero bajar, tío. Me voy. Este bug guapo ahí que se quedan ahí... No, yo paso. Doris estará por ahí. Para ese no le vamos a ir porque ya lo hemos matado en su momento. Y no le da... Hijo de puta. Pues un polvo, venga. Buah, no ha muerto. Guapísimo, sin darle. Vas a reventar a tu puta madre, porque aquí no, ¿eh? ¡Hala! Ahí está Doris, ¿no?
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move quickly. Let me
Que en
check
este
the ground
país
floor.
está todo lleno de acásicos, joder, o sea, por Dios, ¿cómo va a
I'll
estar
search
vivo?
the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not.
No te he dejado ni hablar.
Locked up tight.
Vaya, acásicos. Hola, amigos. Aquí no había algo. Aquí. Cédula real sobre la fundación de la prisión de Balmung. Su Majestad Barnabas Tarm, monarca del reino de Boaluit, autoriza la creación de esta institución para mantener cautivos a los portadores apresados en sus dominios. El objetivo de estas instalaciones es el entrenamiento de una bestia de Kuza Que sirva en futuras campañas bélicas. El propósito de Ut Supra es confidencial y no debe ser revelado a ningún tercero bajo pena de muerte. Los portadores alojados en estas instalaciones servirán en exclusiva para el propósito de Ut Supra. Cualquier otro de los mismos deberá ser aprobado con anterioridad por el alcaide.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
No, la bestia es el maromo. Ya está, el clarinete. A ver, voy a dar la vuelta entera. Oh no. Ay, mira, de verdad. No lo matamos. No meto lo suficiente. Ahora sí. Dame cositas. Disposición de la bestia de Kuza en campañas bélicas. La bestia Kuza es una especie muy agresiva cuyos primitivos instintos le imposibilitan distinguir entre enemigos y aliados. Las pasadas sesiones de entrenamiento con portadores y hombres de su majestad han dado resultados infructuosos. Por muchas señas, gritos y elementos visuales que nuestros soldados usaran para indicar que no eran el objetivo a abatir, la criatura acabó devorándolos a todos. Ha quedado demostrado que su naturaleza combativa es inmutable, por lo que se recomienda su incorporación a algún batallón de portadores durante la campaña bélica, de tal forma que la bestia acabe con él y los enemigos sin sacrificar ninguna vida waloediense en el proceso. Estaba pensando lo mismo. No se acaban, hombre. Vale, y ahí... la última. Hábitos alimenticios de la bestia Kuza. La escasez de bastimentos nos ha impedido alimentar a la bestia de Kuza como acostumbrábamos. Sin embargo, la criatura parece suplir esta carencia devorando a los portadores contra los que se enfrenta durante sus sesiones de entrenamiento. Lejos de volverse más agresiva, la bestia muestra signos de satisfacción con su nueva fuente de alimento, por lo que todos aquellos portadores incapacitados o reacios a luchar serán dispuestos a tal fin.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs.
Sí, el piso superior había por aquí. Por aquí se podía subir. Señores, por favor. No tengo una idea. Muy pesados, tío. Hola. ¿Está ahí la Doris?
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Llave de Balmung, ahí abajo. Ah, vale. Oye, pensé que ya había dado la vuelta entera, ¿no? ¿Los mato? ¿Para qué? Algo de esto, sí. ¡Corre, Manolo!
Let's see what we can find down here.
A ver. Ah, que podemos entrar. Ámbar.
A survivor.
Bien, un crío, tío. Ahí.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
¿Será un Vejimo?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
Mira,
It's out there waiting for me.
caño.
I can't let it live.
Es un Vejimo
Not if it's got
dopado.
a taste for bearers.
Bueno, a ver qué tal. Tenemos a Joshua, por lo menos, para apoyarme. O sea, que también es un... Vale.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever
Puta
leaves the
escoria,
prison.
tío. Puya,
Can't
puya.
let that happen.
Joder. Loco, estoy dando la esquivar, pero bueno. Que le estoy dando a puta esquivar. Ay, Dios mío. Ahora. Que mete otro, tío. Oh, pero bueno, al 27 ataques a la par, ¿no?
Let's try. I needed that. Too slow.
Ay, ay, ay. A lo mejor tenía que haber tirado un saber justiciero. Es posible. Igual no podía tirar dos. Mierda. Ahora. ¡Ah, joder! Con tus putos ataques de mierda. Ahora. Se ve guay las paredes. Mola. Se ven bonitas. A mimir. Grillete de Végimo. Material. ¿No sube de nivel?
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
Nah.
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Hyde Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Ole, ole. Ahora sí que subimos de nivel, ¿no? Bien, me gusta subir de nivel. Tener atributos altos está bien. Hálito de oscuridad. Gungnir. Me encanta Gungnir. No me gusta nada esa habilidad. La verdad. Vale, pues ahora... tenemos carta, parece ser, ¿no? ¿Ponía? No, sé. A ver, espérate. Quería mirar una cosa. En habilidades... tengo 2000 puntos. Ah, vale. Son 4K para mejorarlo. El Gungnir es ne. ¿Cómo? Perdón, ¿qué es? Ne. Es un poco ne. Esto está muy bien. No. Ya, estos están todos ahí eliminados. Titán estaba muy guay hasta que, bueno. Igual podía quitar esto y poner otra cosa. Giga Fulgor, ¿te imaginas? No, que va. El rayo está bien para el área, aunque no lo estoy usando. No, el rayo está muy bien para el área. ¿Qué hago mirando esto? Tenemos que irnos, venga, va. Vamos a Northridge. Y luego a lo de Joshua.
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
¿Cómo? Ah, vale, vale. Te va a impresionar Ambrosia.
Faster!
¡Faster! ¿Cómo, perdona? ¡Faster! Foster's Hollywood. ¿Te imaginas? Un raptor. Over here, stranger.
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready.
No me he fijado, perdón. Ah, pues sí. Pero son perretes, tú.
Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Me he equivocado. Pensé que estábamos en otro... Ahora. Now is the time.
Nice try. Too slow.
Dale, dale. A mimir. Ole, ole. Uña de dragón.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Te va a encontrar el material, segurísimo, además, ¿eh? Seguro. Hostia, leí... No sé qué ponía. Cernía... No sé. Cernía algo, ¿no? Pensé que ponía pulsera de celíaco. Está bien, colega. Ay, mierda. Ese es con este. Vale, vale, vale. Ahí. Me ha estado gracioso, tú, en plan de... Ostras, ¿qué has conseguido? Una pulsera de celíaco. Aquí hay un rollo de tienda. Hola.
Do you see anything you like?
Sí, pone que tienes cosas nuevas. No sé qué... daño infligido con martirio acerado. Ah, este está guay. Cómpralo.
Excellent
No lo voy a dar.
choice.
Y ya está, ¿no? Me he gastado una pasta.
You've a keen eye.
¡Lleve
do
que
like a customer who knows what he
Venga, vámonos. Está ahí, no ha vuelto aún.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
La entregamos ya, ¿no? Uy, espérate. Sí, la entregamos ya. Y vamos a Joshua. Con suerte nos da tiempo a hacer una más.
You should have seen him. The thing didn't stand a chance.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
¿Qué digo, tío? ¿Ha pasado o no ha pasado? Yo diré que sí.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey. But he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conk and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
¡Pum! Ole, ole. Hálito de rayo. Estallido centellante. Tiempo de recarga del estallido. ¿Estallido es el...? ¿No? ¿El estallido es el que uso yo? ¿Es este? Sí. A ver, que a lo mejor a la larga pues lo uso. Vamos a hablar con Cyril, tú. Aquí. Está en esta... Uy, hay otra misia ahí también.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
Para mis queridos hijos, sé que mucho os pido al involucraros en esta guerra, pero el futuro de nuestra nación depende de ella. Sin embargo, aun cuando logremos recuperar el hálito del dragón, no podremos huir de la calígine que impregna la tierra. He de proseguir con mi plan para asegurar la prosperidad de nuestro pueblo, mas no todos en Rosaria comparten los mismos ideales. Dudo mucho que el destino tenga a bien brindarme muchos más años de vida para consumarlo, así que quiero que continuéis con mi legado, pues solo vosotros tenéis la convicción y el coraje necesarios para llevarlo a cabo. Gran empresa os encomiendo, y lo mínimo que puedo hacer es dejaros esto en herencia para mostraros mi apoyo como vuestro padre.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival. He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime. But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least. And where is this woman? She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace. Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Yo te juro que este tío es... A ver, será todo servicial que quieras y tal, pero es tan creepy que parece que va a traicionarte a la mínima, no sé. A 40 metros... Bueno, pues vale. Vale. Anciana.
My lord, Your Grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Vale, pues yo pensé que iba... Upa. Sí.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Sí, señor. Tengo potis, ¿no? Yo tengo potis. Creo que acabo de comprar, ¿no? Espera, me he equivocado. Sí, voy full. Vale, pues entonces vamos a hacer esto. Y llego antes, ¿sabes? Porque si no... Corre, Clive. Corre, Clive, Clive.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Ahí está. Simurg.
There it is.
Señor, cállese. ¿Cómo te atreves?
Nice try.
Oh, está muy lejos. Ah, se acercó, perfecto. Yo te voy a meter sables justicieros por doquier, ¿eh? Ah, hice un dash muy pronto. Qué asqueroso. Ven aquí. Acá. Fénix. He gastado todo ahora, ya saco. Le he quitado 80k a este, tío. No está mal. Ah. Ya estás muerto. Listo. Ole, ole. Cardiolita. Ah, el objeto clave.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
Sí, pues vamos a averiguarlo. Tabor. Colega. Ahora. Estaba muy lejos. O sea, estaban muy cerca todos los iconos, quiero decir. Muy lejos la cámara. La señora ahí arriba. Me dice, no es esta, ve por otro. La mato. Señora.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Godotha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Visita al cenotafio de Elwyn. ¿Pero esto dónde coño está? Porque aquí no. En la cantidad... Vale, vale. Vale, sí, menos mal, porque está... Digo, me esperaba una misión más chula de Joshua, ¿no? Vale, está bien. Si metemos algo de más tal. Oye, el inventario, es que no me fijé qué coño nos dieron. Es de... Es objeto clave, ¿no? ¿Testamento? ¿O no? Insignia del Yuque. Rollo, incensario, insignia. Era dorado. O sea, dorado, era morado. Igual es equipo de verdad. Sí que es equipo de verdad. Brazaletes. Amparo del fundador, sí. Vamos a llevarlos. ¿Y tú qué era? Llamas de renacer. 12 segundos. No. Pero te podemos quitar vida. Y metemos... Son 4 segundos. Tampoco es una barbaridad. Déjalo estar. Vamos para allá.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother
Uy, perdona.
was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
A ver, tengo que ir por aquí. Vale. Ahí en medio y luego ir hacia atrás. Es que no quiero pegarme, ¿sabes? Ahora mismo. Y están hablando sobre todo, ¿no? ¿Por ahí? Es por ahí arriba. ¿Estoy recuperando vida?
It's just back there.
Así que aquí... ¡Ah! Esta piedra que había visto es... ¡Anda! Esta es la tumba del padre.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
¡Pum! Oh, qué rabia, ya es una hora, ¿eh? Pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Yo voy a... Yermo... Ah, mira. Puede verse en cosas en la habitación. ¿Qué pone? Yo soy sonido del grupo y volverá parte de él hasta que parta hasta origen. ¡Oh! Tenemos una ayuda todo el rato. ¡Qué bueno!, ¿no? Vale. Pues a ver, dejarme pensar. Porque a ver, tenemos ahora... Ahora nos quedan 4 aquí. 1, 5, 6 y 7. 7 quest. En un principio. Y no sé en cuál había... Salían 2 marcas, creo que era. Qué raro, ¿no? A ver, tenemos ahí una. Que esta es nueva, ¿no? Esta es puta nueva. Gaff, me cago en la puta. Tú no tenías quest y ahora me vienes que sí. Quedaban 2 y ahora hay... Hay una más en carta también. Me cago en la puta de oros. Se multiplican por esporas. No entiendo nada. Pues no, voy a hacer una más, tío. O sea, es que si no, me vuelvo loco. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Estoy preocupado por Jill. Me cago en la puta de oros, Jill. Vale, la de Jill es importante. La hacemos para despedirlo. Ifrit, antes de partir, tenéis mi más sincera gratitud por haberme dado la oportunidad de volver a reunirme con el maestro Harpócrates. Ahora poder afrontar la gran empresa que nos aguarda sin remordimiento alguno. En estas pocas lunas que Gregora ha tenido el bien reunirnos. Vos y vuestro hermano habéis hecho por mí mucho más de lo que podría haber imaginado. Estoy en deuda con ambos, mas dejad que mis alas la salden. De esta última batalla depende el futuro por el que tanto habéis luchado. Jamás claudiquéis. Clive, gracias por atender la petición de este anciano de cansados huesos. Me avergüenza admitir que, preso a la incertidumbre y la cobardía, nunca me atreví a contactar con mi viejo amigo para comunicarle lo orgulloso que me sentía de él. Tu intervención ha marchitado las espinas que atenazaban este viejo corazón. Quizás, si mi sugerencia es de tu agrado, podrías estrenar la pluma que te regalé cuando regreses victorioso de tu última batalla. A muchos nos gustaría leer y conservar tu aventura en los cielos junto al príncipe Dion y tu hermano. Que vamos a morir todos, ¿eh? Nuestro propio camino, mira al otro. ¿Recuerdas lo que dijiste aquella noche en el pórtico de Fénix? El destino de Rosaria está en manos del dominante al que tú, como guarda ducal, tienes el deber de proteger. Sin embargo, ¿por qué no puedo hacer lo propio? ¿Por qué no puedo protegerte a ti esta vez? Padre y Cid aspiraban a crear un mundo en el que rompiéramos las cadenas del destino y recorriéramos nuestro propio camino. Empecemos por cambiar esto, Clive. Déjame protegerte, déjame luchar a tu lado. Estoy preocupado por Jill. Vale. Estoy preocupado por Jill. Aunque Shiva le haya ocasionado tanto dolor, creo que su pérdida le pesa en el corazón. Tenemos que hacer algo para animarla antes de partir a Origen. Y por eso me gustaría hablar contigo sobre el tema cuando tengas tiempo, Joshua. ¡Hombre! ¡Hombre!
If Joshua was worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Por supuesto. Mi tesoro. Vale, pues vamos a hablar con Joshua. Sí, esta me apetece, En las siguientes, pues bueno, Gaff y los otros 2. Se me jodas, tío. De repente se multiplican las misiones a medida que vas haciéndolas, tú. A ver, que están guays. Estas me gustan mucho, pero joder.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
Pues vamos para allá. Parece cortita. Cortita pero importante, porque al fin y al cabo Jill, es cierto, está sin invocación ahora, así que es en plan... Va un poco jodida. Es comprensible, ¿eh? Todo marchito, ¿no?
This is the place, but
I'm sorry, Clive.
there's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone at the backyard. To the hideaway, then.
Ay, os voy a matar, de verdad. Joder, qué asco de gente, tú. Me hacen ir y volver. ¿Esto es?
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Cállate, cállate, cállate. Me tienes calentito hoy, ¿eh?
Say what you will.
Ah, que me meo. Yo digo yo una cosa. Aunque esté todo lleno de tierra estigia, nosotros nos encontramos ahora mismo en tierra estigia, en la guarida, y estamos consiguiendo que florezca y conservar y crear. O sea, estamos consiguiendo cultivar aquí. ¿Qué me estás contando? No nos hace falta magia realmente. O sea, realmente nos daría igual que se consumiera todo, si nosotros ya tenemos el conocimiento necesario para subsistir en las tierras estigias. O sea, no entiendo.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold, and where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Lo que podías también es traer semillas y tal para plantarlas aquí.
Here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilafeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
Vale. ¿No se sentiría más útil Jill en el caso de si va con nosotros? Es decir, llévala. No hará magia, correcto. Pero... bueno, realmente magia sí que puede hacer. Tenemos que ir... no, ahí. Y no hay teleport. Vale, vamos andando. Hay que atravesar la ciudad y salir por la izquierda. Me estoy planteando si acaso subir Final todos los días, ¿sabes? Aunque coincida con el... ¿cómo se llama? Con el Plague Tale, porque me apetece que sea variado, ¿no? Pero es decir, lunes y martes tarde, miércoles y jueves tarde, ¿sabes? Algo así. Por lo menos para superar este sopor de secundarias, ¿no? O sea, bueno, no es un sopor. Quiero decir, quiero acabarme el juego, sinceramente, ahora mismo. Y ya no voy a ir... no creo que vaya a tirar ahora mismo a... Lo dicho. Que no creo que vaya a tirar a escorias ni nada, porque tampoco creo que vaya a darle a un nuevo juego plus. Hay muchos juegos que quiero darles, tío, y no puedo meterme tanto... Mira, ahí están. No puedo meterles tanto a este, ¿sabes? No será por falta de tiempo, realmente es que le tengo mucho tiempo para darle, pero joder. Me apetece probar cosas diferentes. No puedo darle tanto para mí. Es un juego muy largo, tío. Un juego muy largo que no me está aportando tanto, quiero decir. Por ejemplo, el Persona 5 no quería que acabara nunca. ¿Vienen más? Ah, bueno. Hola, amigo.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
¿Me han pillado? No. Porque es Gambito, eres Gambito. Ole, ole, ole. ¿Te vas a comer un sable justiciero conmigo? ¡Oh, y me dio! ¿Cómo me has dado, asqueroso? Hijo de puta. Aunque sea nivel 4, ¿sabes? Se acercan más enemigos, venga, que vengan. Vaya por Dios. Que no te voy a dejar levantar, cabrón. ¿Solo queda este vivo? Ah, no, pero no lo tengo marcado. No, o sea, y no lo tengo marcado, no entiendo. ¿Quieres? ¿Hola? ¿Qué le pasa? ¿Por qué no puede andar para hacia este lado? Ah, porque... Madre mía. Espérate.
It's over.
It's over. Está volando por ahí el lobo. Mira, 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 mira. Melena de Minotauro. Ojalá verlo ahí como caía en plan de...
It was harder than I expected.
Bueno. He visto combates más duros, la verdad.
But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
A ver, ¿dónde está allí? Ahí arriba en la habitación. Jillcita.
something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
Ni sí, directamente que te vengas, chorba.
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
was much good at garlands. But it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
¡Hola! Está bien.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
No me lo recuerdes, demasiadas secundarias que hacer. ¡Bum! ¡Mi tesoro! Bueno, mira, nos viene guay porque... Corona de margaritas, sí. Beso de Shiva. Disminuye el tiempo de recarga del polvo de diamantes. Oye. Este igual sí. Porque polvo de diamantes es Cristo también. Quizá es menos guay el... A ver. Jill se ha unido al grupo y formará parte de él hasta que partas a origen también. A ver. Vamos con los dos, ya. Entonces... Viene Jill y el otro, ¿no? En atributos, ahí está. ¿No? Miembros del grupo, Jill y tal. Pero yo no tenía a Joshua. Bueno. Ok. Voy a volver a base, tío. Y... Bueno, de hecho no vuelvo a base. Lo dejamos aquí. Chao, chao. Bille. Y yo guardo y eso y ya me colocaré enfrente de misión y esas cosas. Adiós.